Ever wondered about our old new metal friends and what became of them?
Are you ready? Welcome to the Zeitgeist Lab Collection Podcast, Season 4, Episode 15. I know the number this time because this is the season finale. Hard to fuck that one up.
Mommy, the Zeitgeist is doing the season finale.
No, don't even think about it. This is the season finale. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, welcome to the season finale. This really flew by. No, really, it did.
Did it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. I can't believe we're at the end. I remember looking forward to this season, daydreaming about potting at my old job, and just now we're doing it. And now
supposed to cue like the little the xylophone music, and that's like a flashback to your old job or something.
Yeah, where I'm just like filling out my notes at the end of a call. Mm-hmm. I don't even think I can do that job now because I completely forgot how to do it. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
customer called in, wanted to talk to a doctor, told him to get fucked.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, here we are. It's season 4 finale. We are here to talk about new metal one last time before we skedaddle for a little bit. But I don't want to elaborate on that.
I like skedaddle. Skedoodly-doo.
Solid word. Yeah.
It is a solid word.
That is a very underrated word.
So in the vein of skedaddle, lately my son has been seeing our neighbor out front. He'll be like, "Hi, neighbor." And so I really wanted to try to show him Flanders and get my son really into using Flanderisms, start calling him neighborino, get the diddly or the howdly or whatever. But skedaddle to me is a very Flanders word.
Okay, I can see that. But yeah, I should excuse me. I told you I would explain the philosophy behind this episode. I told you that off mic just a moment ago. So the more I did research for this episode, the more I realized that this isn't just about this second studio album by the band Limp Bizkit. This is not just about Significant Other. This is the Limp Bizkit episode. So this is going to be a sprawling episode of Limp Bizkit content, just fucking flying everywhere.
Now, why wasn't I informed of that so that I could go through their whole discography? Because now I'm okay, I know one of their, 5 or 6 albums? And I've got a lot to say about it, but, it would be nice if I had gotten a chance to listen to all of it so I could kind of weigh in on what I guess is going to be the definitive podcast, period, in the universe about the band Limp Bizkit.
True, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to come even close to scratching the surface about what we're going to dig into.
Mm-hmm.
But I only listened to the second album too.
Have you listened to all of their albums?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I've never listened to Gold Cobra, and I've never listened to the Unquestionable Truth, which is technically an EP.
Okay.
I've listened to pretty much every other one though. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a more sprawling episode of Limp Bizkit content, but I didn't tell you because I didn't really know that until I was doing the research myself, and I was like, I can just handle it, So as your role has been, in the season 4, it's just to, like you said, just sit back and.
Well, right, but someone who sits back with an opinion of what we're talking about, because I get an assignment, hey, this week we're talking about Seven Dust. I'm okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go listen to this fucking thing, and then I at least have something to say when we get on mic. But I've listened to one album, so hopefully I can keep up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm just saying, Significant Other is just a part of a smaller portion of what we're going to be talking about. I'm just saying. I say that in reference to the 18 videos I have queued up for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that? Are you still there? I've lost Brian.
All right. I don't know how much this is staying in, but welcome back. We had some technical difficulties. Alex's internet or power just completely shit the bed when I was just something like that. Yeah, what was the last thing I said that you recall? Where were we in our conversation?
I honestly do not remember.
All right. Well, it was a whole 5 minutes ago, so
So,
try to think.
okay. I can ask the same thing of you. Jesus, what's the last thing you remember saying? Other
I already
than,
told you.
okay, well, what did you say right before? How are you doing? Because I definitely did not hear that.
What did I say?
It was only 5 minutes ago. Like, try to remember.
Well, I remember the most recent thing I said.
Oh
You
my
can't even.
god.
Oh, we were talking. Well, we were talking about the structure of the episode,
Oh, okay.
and you were saying that you wish I would have told you off mic that this is the Limp Bizkit episode, not just the significant other episode. And I was explaining how I came to this sort of epiphany when researching this episode yesterday.
Right, yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. I kind of went down a rabbit hole of Limp Bizkit YouTube content and decided, yeah, fuck it. This is just going to be the definitive Limp Bizkit episode of any podcast about the band ever. And not just the measly significant other episode that we had originally planned for. And essentially what that means is that I just wanted to use that as an excuse for having non-related content to significant other. Like, we're going to watch performances from other songs from other albums. We're going to watch videos from other time periods.
Yeah, we've done that on other episodes.
Sure, yeah.
Just last week.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this is the definitive Limp Bizkit episode. And yeah, this is going to be very fun. But before we do any of that, Alex, as I was asking you before, how the fuck are you doing?
I am good. I am glad to be here. I'm glad it happened, but I'm also glad that it's over. Of course, I'm referencing season 4. It's been a great journey, but I definitely think it's time to close the book on this arc, much like it has been in other seasons. So, but I'm stoked because the season finales are always our best episodes. Somehow we always, whatever baggage we brought to the last episode of a season, we always hit it out of the park. I don't care what anyone says. Our season finales are always among our best.
Oh, absolutely. Like, what's a show that always had good season finales?
Community, as long as they had Dan Harmon.
Okay. Yeah. Which is ironic because when you were talking about all of our season finales being just home runs, I can't for the life of me remember the season finale of our community season.
It's definitely like the lesser of the three, but I just remember because like the season 3 finale of Community. God, what is the name of that episode? Introduction to Finality. That's just such an all-timer. So I really like that. I like that that's what we talked about. I thought for a season that, especially looking back on, you and I both kind of said was a little lackluster. I still feel like we really hit it out of the park there because it's the end of a season. It brings out all the good feelings.
Okay, yeah.
It's nostalgia. It's like a little nostalgia hit.
Sure, yeah. And so you're glad to see season 4 go, huh?
But I've been glad to see them all go.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's got to end. Like, it was the hardest for me to say goodbye to the drive-through season because that's what I want. I didn't want to do anything beyond that. But still, like, it had its time. I knew we had run its course, more than its course, because we spent an extra month waiting for Sam Sutherland. And then at the end of Community and the end of Canada, I'm like, yeah, it's time to move on. We've said what we need to say, was my thought. And I think that again.
Yeah, that's a good diplomatic view of it. I have more of a fascist outlook on it. I'm in that this is the best season objectively, and no one will tell me different.
And yeah, everyone's entitled to that opinion.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about describing that as a fascist point of view, and you had a diplomatic point of view.
I'm surprised you feel that way. You're entitled to whatever opinion you have, but behind the mic, I feel like we've been living like a VH1 storyteller's sort of drama. So for you to be like, yeah, this is the best season, I find kind of surprising.
No, this is my favorite one by far. I've enjoyed all of them for different reasons, but I feel like as far as sticking to not that we can stick to a format or like a rubric of sorts. even though we kind of had like a blueprint for this season and how the episodes are structured. I'm glad we were able to stick to that structure and create a bunch of like really great content out of this. But yeah, it had its ups and downs, but I feel like all of the episodes have turned out really great, and I feel like we're kind of hitting our stride with podcasting. And yeah, there are low moments for sure. Yeah, like not I mean, off mic there are low moments, and there was some tension sneaking out that had been building up for a little while. But yeah, other than that, I feel like
other than that.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think a few episodes ago I said like we tried to okay, what is season 1 is like the band doing this, like, and I said this season has been like the Beatles making the Let It Be album or Get Back album or whatever, while everything's just kind of falling apart, and I stand by that. And that's still a classic Beatles album, and there's no reason this won't be a classic season for us.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. I don't feel like this has been falling apart at all. I feel like we're putting out our best product.
Everything in front of the mic has been great. And so I've been thinking about this because in so many of the episodes, we've debated over what is new metal, what isn't new metal, is this album new metal, why is this, why is that? And it's led to a lot of really thoughtful discussions and back and forth. You would call it arguments. I wouldn't always use that word, though sometimes it's a word I would choose. But I think it's led to maybe some really more of the more analytical conversations we've had, especially coming in this home stretch, on Slipknot, Soulfly, and System of a Down. We've kind of really gotten into things, and that coupled with the Deftones as well. But I was thinking, why would there be so much argument or debate over something that should be as simple as new metal? And I thought, okay, well, it's really our first season where it could be up for debate, right? You can't argue whether a record came out on Drive-Thru Records. You can't argue whether it was an episode of Community. You can't argue whether it was made in Canada. But on this, there's nuance, and it's led to more in-depth analysis of what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, that's absolutely a really good way of spinning it. Yeah, I mean, while a lot of the conversations initially were frustrating for me, and I always thought of it. I always took it personally, even though I shouldn't have. I really internalized a lot of things I shouldn't have,
mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what led to things getting ugly off mic, I feel. But no, I think I applaud you for being able to kind of spin it into a positive thing.
The polysilex does stand for political, so nothing if not trying to. It's the spin zone.
Right, yeah, trying to turn all bad press into good press.
Right. Speaking of which, I feel like the front man of our band we're here to talk about is maybe an expert at that.
What's that?
I feel like the front man of Limp Bizkit, Mr. Fred Durst, may be an expert at that.
Yeah, no, I'm a little high, so I was like, what the front man of our band? Who's in our band? Is there a third mic I don't know about? What's going on? But
just the CIA listening.
It's the what?
The CIA listening to our conversation.
Oh, yeah, it's the FBI guy in my
mm-hmm.
phone.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm doing good. Anyway, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Titty Park with Juggalo Max. Got really high, had an edible. Yeah, I ordered a new microphone from a new site, and they sent me 2 60-milligram edibles. And I took them back to back, and oh boy, I was walking across my apartment like a zombie.
Nice.
The other day. Speaking of edibles, are you out of edibles? Are you on edibles? What's your status here for our season finale?
Status is stone cold sober.
Ooh, really? So you're not really celebrating?
Well, I thought about it, but okay. So it's the end of a season. We're kind of airing our dirty laundry. We've been referencing some of the drama, So I want to take this opportunity to come clean and say that last week I was on edibles, but for whatever reason decided to deny it. And I feel like last week was really bad. I have not started editing that episode yet, but I was like, ugh. And I just think it was because I was at the wrong part of the experience to produce good content. And I don't know why I didn't just say I was, because you flat out asked me. I was like, no, why? Why are you asking me?
Yeah, I did. Did I ask you?
Yes,
if you were?
And I got really defensive about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, you did get defensive about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
So I decided today I just wanted to go in clear-headed.
Okay. Yeah, that's been a story, like an unexpected storyline of the season, is you experimenting with edibles on the podcast, and while always pointing out when I'm high and stuff. Right.
Well, we've been over that vigorous back and forth, so I don't think we need to relitigate that.
No, not at all. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, no, I had a good weekend. That's what was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know. I forgot I was going to bring up something else, but I completely forgot. Surprise. But yeah, I guess now would be the time to scratch our grundle one last time for this season. And yeah, I made sure to not leave anyone hanging. I've been tweeting about this for the last 2 days.
Now, if you need, I took screenshots of everything because it was like spread over a bunch of tweets, and I wasn't sure.
Do you want to? No, I got this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know at times you've been like trying to look for the tweet, which is fine, but now it's like a couple tweets you need to find. So
yeah,
but if you're feeling confident, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll just kind of go all over the place here. We'll start with the pinned tweet here. I guess we'll get your question out of the way that you asked for some reason, because I know you don't like to be skipped or left out of these things. But what you for some reason wanted to know what's the best season of the Emmy Award show ER? I'm assuming you meant Emmy Award winning, but I've never seen the show, so I don't know if it won any Emmys or not. So
it won tons of Emmys.
Okay. Well, you said you said the Emmy Award show ER, so
yeah,
that was there. You're missing it. You did a typo.
I would never admit to that. I'll let you decide.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying your question is worded very very strangely.
Well, as one of the co-hosts, I understand the question that's being asked of us.
Okay. Well, all right. So I've never seen this show in my entire life, so I can't answer this question. So I guess you're essentially asking yourself a question. You just wanted to talk about ER, I'm assuming.
This is season 3. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. It's just the answer is season 3 for anyone listening and wondering.
Okay, so you just wanted to get that opinion out there on the podcast?
I mean, you asked for all of the hot takes and questions.
That's true, yeah. I was referring to everyone but the people answering them, but that's usually what I mean. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we got you represented there in this segment for once.
Mm-hmm. It's about time.
Jordan Lane, consulting producer extraordinaire, wants to know, is it worth it to buy an umbrella, or is a jacket with a hood enough? I'm going to go with a hood just being sufficient enough. I don't trust myself with an umbrella. I feel like I'm just gonna open it. I'm gonna like fuck up trying to open it, and then it's gonna hit some bitch in the face. Sitting on the corner, like, yeah. I don't trust myself with an umbrella.
Okay. So I would never buy an umbrella, but there's like a local jeweler here, and it's where like Daisy and I got our wedding rings. And so sometimes we'll take hers in to get cleaned or polished or whatever. And they actually have like a little station in there where you can take an umbrella, and it says, grab an umbrella, just bring it back next time. And so like I just took an umbrella out of that thing once and
never brought it back.
Never brought it back. So sometimes if it's raining and we go on a walk, I'll pop open the old Shaneco umbrella and we'll use that.
Oh.
But yeah, I would never buy an umbrella.
No, you just steal one from some local establishment.
I haven't been back since the time I took it, okay? So I'm not even outside of their rules. It's not like I've taken it and then gone back multiple times since then. That was the last time we were there.
Do you intend on bringing it back when you return?
Maybe. We don't live in that area anymore, so we're not out there as frequently. But I know that Daisy's mentioned that her ring is kind of due for a once over, and if we both end up there, of course I will take the umbrella back.
You wouldn't just like drop it off with her the next time she goes there. You have to be the one returning it because you're the one.
If she said something, if she was like, "Hey, I'm going to take back the umbrella," I'd be like, "Okay, fine." She knows where it is. It's not like I'd have to find it for her. But I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, "Oh, okay. Hey, by the way, please take the umbrella." No.
Okay. This doesn't feel like a priority for you, huh?
Sometimes I use it. I'm getting use out of it.
All right. No judgment here. All right. Gabe Sluice wants to know.
The sluice is loose. Ah.
He sure is. Have you ever heard a new metal song? And though I'm assuming he means thought, just given the context here, you guys and your typos, I don't get it. And thought, yeah, I'm gonna have them play this at my wedding. So is there a new metal song that you think is worthy of being played at a wedding? Or I guess your wedding? If you had to get married all over again, would you have your first dance to let's say a Linkin Park song or something?
No, I mean, our first dance was to the song by The Used. Now, I know that's not new metal, but...
really?
Yeah.
What song by The Used?
I don't remember the name now.
Well, sounds like a very special moment on a special day.
It was. I could sing the song. I'm not going to do that, but I just don't remember the name, because we're not big Used fans. We just found it on a list of alternative first dance songs or whatever. So it's not like either of us are fans of The Used. I was really bummed that we couldn't find a Jack's Mannequin song that we thought fit the occasion. But I did. So my short answer is no. I've never thought of that because I'm simply not that into new metal anyway. But I did some Googling and I found a Reddit post called "A Very New Metal Wedding." And this person says, "My fiance and I are making a playlist for our wedding dinner. Are there any new metal songs that are pretty or chill? Disturbed has a nice cover of If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. Is there anything else that comes to mind?" And let's see what people have suggested. We've got...
I thought you were going to say Disturbed has a very lovely cover of The Sounds of Silence, because that's just objectively not true, because that song is dog shit.
And so we've got the band Flaw, Best I Am.
Oh, yeah, brother. Wait, what song by Flaw?
Best I Am.
Oh, I don't know that one.
And the same person also suggested Summer Romance by Incubus.
Okay, that's a good... Is that Anti-Gravity Love Song?
I don't know. Maybe. That is a good song.
That is a very, very good song.
And then someone else suggested I Miss You by Incubus and Like.
I thought about that one, yeah.
Like by Taproot.
Okay.
Hold On by Limp Bizkit.
All right. That's interesting.
I'm not familiar with that one. Another user suggested The Messenger by Linkin Park. As well as...
I don't know that one.
As well as Vermilion Part 2 by Slipknot. As well as practically half... Oh, someone just says practically half of the music by Stained is soft and chill.
I wouldn't be playing Stained at a wedding, but...
And I also offered up Kiss by Korn. We could keep going, but I'll just read this last one. Someone also suggested Snuff by Slipknot. So, a lot of people responded to that, but there is this is in, of course, the R New Metal subreddit, and someone looking for new metal wedding song suggestions. So, no, Gabe, I have never thought of that, but other people have, and there are some of the common answers that are given.
Wow, you did do some research for this episode. That's impressive. I tried to think about this a couple of times since he first posted it about a day ago, and I still don't have an answer. Yeah, I don't know. My brother's getting married this fall, so I'm kind of wondering what him and his partner's wedding song is going to be. I gotta be honest. I'm dreading this fucking wedding. I'm trying not to think about it, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm just not looking forward to it. Just family gatherings. I just over the years just can't deal with. But yeah, I don't know. Juggalo Max will be in the wedding, so I'll have a bud there, so that'll be helpful. But yeah.
By the way, the song by The Used was "Find a Way."
So. Okay, I don't know that one. But yeah, I'm just kind of wondering what their song's going to be. Probably some stupid, like, twinkly emo bullshit, like, by, like, Algorithm, Caterpillar, whatever that band's called.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, whatever people pick for their wedding, I don't think I would ever label it as bullshit in that context. It might not be a good song, but
yeah,
let them have their moment.
It's got me thinking. Yeah, I haven't really. Did you see the tweet that I did when friends of the pod announced they had finally gotten married, and I tweeted, congratulations and all that to them.
Sure.
And then I followed up by saying, yeah, I'd say me and Alex are up next to get married, but we'd never agree on a song.
That was like the height of argument season 2. So I saw that and I turned away, hopped on my own account and congratulated them and pretended like I didn't see that.
I thought that was a really good tweet. Yeah, am I wrong though? We would never agree on a song.
However you identify is fine, but I would not find myself marrying you, so that'd probably be the first reason why.
No, that doesn't fit with my identity either. But I'm just saying hypothetically and humorously above all.
I mean, I'm sure we could find something. I mean, maybe a good track from Neighborhoods.
Absolutely not. All right. Well, since it's appears next here, we got I commissioned a hot take.
See, now this is where I'm starting to be like, okay, now you're just grabbing hot takes from other people and not even like grabbing them from our thread. You're like, I'm going to take this hot take.
Look, it's our season finale. We got to pull out all the stops. Got to pull all the content out of our collective anus. And yeah. So the aforementioned Punk Goes Pod, I don't know, I didn't mention them by name, but shout out to the recently married couple, friends of the pod, Punk Goes Pod. Are we doing their podcast again? I feel like we were. Are we scheduled to do their podcast at some point again?
No.
Oh, we already did it. Okay. I feel like we were going to do more than one episode. I don't know. My memory is just its own world. But anyway, their hot take is, as album remasters go, Avril Lavigne's 20th anniversary edition of Let Go is far superior to all of the TV albums combined. And I had to clarify what does TV stand for, and it stands for Taylor's Version, which I am notoriously knowledgeable about. And I know exactly what that means and everything, as I've proven on this podcast before. Very knowledgeable on this subject, very informed.
We were taken to town over some of the things you've said about Taylor's Version in the past. Like, we had
I know.
We had people coming at, but like literally, we had people coming after us, like out of the woodworks. Like, so
I know that's why I'm saying this. I'm being sarcastic.
I know, but it's just like I didn't ever think that we would get attention for it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Nothing I'm not used to though. Yeah, no, I'm just kind of now realizing what could be the issue with commissioning a hot take like this. In that I don't understand all of the words in her original tweet. This might as well have been written and tweeted in Latin. It would have the same effect on me. I don't know. I've never heard Avril Lavigne's 20th anniversary edition of Let Go, let alone the original version. And I'm not really, as I've proven time and time again on this podcast, not as well versed in Taylor's versions as I want to believe I am. But yeah, I guess that's a hot take.
I think I just want a quick shout out to a friend of the pod and former guest Althea Pergakis, who pointed out that the Taylor's versions aren't remasters, they're full re-recordings. So it's like comparing apples and oranges. I love Punk Goes Pod. I think Emma and Sam are great, but I just think they're off the mark here because we're comparing a remaster to a re-recording. And that's what makes it a hot take to me, is that like, what the hell are we even talking about here?
Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense to me. Yeah, Punk Goes Pod, what the hell were you thinking? Yeah, I wonder if they'll be getting some flack from the Taylor Swift community for these opinions. Oh, Althea responded. saying the Lord is testing me today. Oh yeah, you basically just read her tweet. That's
yes, that's correct. Yes, very good.
That wasn't just a fact you pulled out of your anus there.
No, that was me checking the timeline while we're talking.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were just saying that to say that, like you're proving your knowledge to me, but it was fraudulent. Okay,
it's not fraudulent because that's what I was going to say. I was going to get to that point.
Oh, okay.
Is that they are not. It's a remaster. I have not listened to the remaster of Let It Go. I don't really understand the point of a remaster. My understanding is usually it just makes things louder. But of course, it's better than Taylor's versions because I get the philosophical concept behind Taylor re-recording these things to take back her music, to take what is hers, to make a stand, right? But objectively, in my opinion, they sound much worse than the original version. So it makes sense to me that the same recording of Let Go sounds better because these aren't re-recordings; they're just louder. I can already feel everyone getting so mad at me right now. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember correctly, my original take on Taylor's version was that she should have just wrote her own songs to begin with. She wouldn't have that issue.
Yep, that was your take.
And you're saying that like it's wrong. And what's flawed about that?
Because she did write her songs. It's not about who wrote the songs. It's about who owns the masters, and she didn't own the masters, so she's re-recording them so she can own the recordings of the songs. She never didn't write the songs.
No, they were co-written by Swedish dudes, though, weren't they?
Some of them, I'm sure, but I think she writes most of her own songs.
I feel like I'm not going to look it up, but I've definitely looked it up before, and I know I don't think she has independently written the majority of her hit songs by herself. Which, if you know anything about me, I believe is quite shameful. I feel like if you're going to be a solo artist, you should be a solo artist. Don't have someone co-write your songs with you. If you're a legendary pop punk band, don't hire co-writers to write your songs for you.
So Elton John, one of the most prolific solo artists of all time, didn't write a single lyric in his whole damn career.
Yeah, I know, but that's different.
That's the exact same. What do you mean that's different? That's the exact same thing.
Different. No, the lyrics are completely different.
Anyway, it looks like Taylor Swift writes most of her own songs by herself. She does have one or two co-writers. I'm just looking at Fearless because that's one of the ones I know she's re-recorded lately.
No, Elton John wrote the songs. He wrote the melodies and the song structures and all that stuff. But someone else just wrote the words. That's different.
Okay.
No, that is completely different.
I disagree.
Okay, well, all right, whatever. That's fine. I don't want to argue about that. All right, so Buttermuffin says, "Fuck, marry, kill, drive they records." I'm assuming he went through. No one can type today for some reason. I don't know why. New metal and community, the show. So, fuck, marry. I haven't really thought about this. I'm gonna. Yeah, okay. I got mine. Do you have yours?
I guess I've always found this game to be pretty stupid.
Oh well, you don't have to participate then if you don't want to.
I mean, I'll participate.
All right, you're just gonna complain about it the whole time.
Yes.
I'm going to kill drive-through records. I'm going to fuck community. And I'm going to marry new metal. And here's why. I don't have any reverence for drive-through records like you do. It's totally fine that you do. But knowing what we now know about the drive-through records guy, I feel like if I had to do anything with drive-through records on a physical, I feel like knowing what we know about drive-through, they're into some weird shit. So I'm definitely not going to fuck them. So I'm going to kill them in self-defense because I feel like in this situation, never mind, I'm not going to get into it. But and then I feel like if I was in a relationship with community, that relationship would be abusive because we didn't always get what we wanted out of community. It was a very rocky relationship with that show. So, and for the people who work on that show, it was obviously not very smooth. So I feel like getting into a relationship with community would be very complicated and very at times painful. So I'm just gonna have a one night stand with Community, and then obviously I'm gonna marry nu metal for their money. So
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty easy actually. I just had to think about it for a split second.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, I would kill nu metal because I don't want to have to think about the embarrassment of having ever liked any nu metal. I would marry Drive Through because of the reverence of which you spoke, and then I would fuck Community because that's the only other choice I have. So
okay, excuse me. All right. Up next we have from our good friend Toes. She wants to know, do you piss in the shower? And then Gabe Seuss has followed that up with, do you lie about pissing in the shower? And then for some reason you have said, do you piss about lying in the shower? Which that's
right.
just a very incoherent sentence.
To each their own.
So do you pee in the shower or what?
Occasionally, but not usually.
Okay. Yeah, no, I always make a point to. If I have to go already, and I've already started the water. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Yeah. And do you lie about it? Do you lie about it to your wife?
I mean, no, because it never comes up, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like most women are grossed out by men peeing in the shower, so I feel like that's something you'd want to keep on the down low, and definitely not talk about on a podcast.
Mm.
I don't know. I said it like she listens to this. But...
well, there you go.
Yeah, no, I've never had a reason to lie about peeing in the shower. I mean, I have cohabitated with partners before, but just on one occasion. But yeah, it didn't really come up like you said. So yeah, I certainly piss about lying in the shower, though. That's for sure. To answer your question.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm always pissing about lying.
Yeah, me too.
Cool, glad we're on the same page there. I guess this is the last question we have, or no, actually a hot take. Jimmy Eat Pod, our friends of the show here, who they don't always chime in with questions. Not something they're known for in our Twitter presence here, but they like 2 days after we recorded earlier rather, they tweeted the Buffy movie is greater than the TV show, presumably the Buffy TV show, and they decided to bring that tweet back, as Ice-T would say on his Twitter. And they've decided to drop that hot take once again, this time in a timely fashion. So I have never seen the Buffy movie, nor have I seen the TV show. So
same here.
I feel like this is just like you wanted to get off your chest this question about ER. I feel like they just really wanted to die on this hill and let everyone know about it because they.
Isn't that the point of the hot take? I feel like you're judging them for giving us a hot. What they
no judgment at all. I'm just hypothesizing. I'm just saying, they must have be dying on this hill if they wanted to tweet it at us more than once here. So. I don't know anything about the Buffy franchise, so I don't know what to do with this information, but I'll take your word for it, I guess. I don't know. It's but thanks to Jimmy Eat Pod for reaching out and participating in our Grundle segment here. And I guess that is it. Just gonna do a double check here of our Twitter timeline.
That was everything I had. So unless anything's come in since we started recording,
I'm going to TD Park. Y'all need anything? That was a pretty underrated tweet that I got off over the weekend that no one interacted with whatsoever. And even after I retweeted it, I was pretty disappointed. But no one, and I can see why this does that TD Park doesn't get any attention from our audience, because I haven't. The episode where I've explained Titty Park hasn't come out yet, as of this recording. But I'm kind of disappointed that no one else is finding the concept of Titty Park as amusing as me. But then again, I've been there a number of times, and I know what it's all about. But yeah, I don't know. If I just saw someone tweeting Titty Park, fucking said it, Titty Park, I would be amused by it because I'd be like, what the fuck is that? I must know. But that's okay. All right. Did you freeze your? Oh no,
No, I'm just listening to you.
All right. You kind of had your face on your head. You kind of looked disgusted with what I was saying.
not disgusting necessarily. Just I don't know. I've definitely sent out a lot of tweets that don't do very well. I guess I'm just used to it.
Yeah, no, I'm just like I said. I understand why, but I'm just a little disappointed that Titty Park has not caught on or captured the imaginations of anyone else in the Grundle. But they'll soon know what Titty Park is all about when I explain it in an upcoming episode that by the time they listen to it will be a previous episode. So yeah, even though I don't want it to be over, that is the entirety of our Grundle segment. So now we must talk about Limp Bizkit. Now let's get into
why didn't you want it to be over?
I don't know. I really like. I guess I've never really explained or really expressed how much I like the Grundle segment. I mean, not only is it free content for us, it's just fun to answer questions about random shit. I don't know. I've always looked forward to that segment. That's why I tweet about it so adamantly. But yeah. All right. So here we're here today to talk about the illustrious Limp Bizkit, and specifically in this little segment here, we are going to talk about their second studio album, Significant Other, from the year 1999. One of the best years in music, in my opinion. That was a very important year for me. I was in 4th grade going into 5th grade, I believe, somewhere around there. And this album and the subsequent Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water were both very big albums for me. Listening to this album brought me back to playing with tech decks in my little half pipe in my room after a long day at middle school and being bullied and stuff. And I mean, I wasn't bullied that much, but like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I have I don't want to say an embarrassing amount of reverence for this album and this band, but fuck it, yeah, I do. I have a lot. I hold Limp Bizkit in high regard in a lot of ways. That might seem peculiar, but they're a very, very formative band for me. Their blend of like hip hop and aggressive alternative metal and like new metal or whatever we were gonna call it. That sound really resonated with me because the first music I liked as a child was hip hop music. The first CD I ever owned was Coolio's Gangster Paradise, an unedited version that my parents gave to me at the age of 6 years old because I loved Gangsta's Paradise and the title track. And yeah, that just put me onto hip hop. And to hear like that mixed with rap, like with rock music, my second love of music, you know, I thought it was very cool and very, they were doing it in a very fresh way because it wasn't like when Aerosmith hooked up with Run DMC or whatever. It was more aggressive and like just, I don't know, like heavier, and it felt more fresh, like I said, and more relevant to what I was going through, I guess, as a young angsty child. So yeah, whose biggest problem in life at that time was my tech decks would break occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to get a new one. That was probably my biggest problem. Or I would be at the urinal and I'd get some pee dribble on my pants and everyone would notice. That was like, or maybe I would have like a sweatshirt boner that people mistake for a real boner. You know how your sweatshirt kind of makes it look like you have an erection when you don't. That was my biggest fear in 5th grade, which actually happened once. But well, yeah, I volunteered in health class. I'm really rambling at this point, but you'll have to stick with me. In health class, I volunteered to lay down on the table and be like a subject for something, and then I was wearing a hooded sweatshirt with pockets, and it looked like I had a boner, and I could hear kids in the front row saying, "He's got a boner." Oh, it went away. But yeah, that was the most traumatic thing that happened to me at that point.
Okay.
And then I listened to Limp Bizkit, and it all go away. Yeah, I sorry for rambling, but I don't know. That's just I have a lot of feelings about this album, this band, as we'll get to. But yeah, so this listening back to it now, like it starts really strong and it goes on a very impressive run of like really, really just like hit after hit, like just a lot of really awesome tracks back to back. I think Fred's like rapping abilities improved a lot over from the first album to the second album. He's not like an amazing rapper or anything like that, but like he sounds really good over like the instrumentals and stuff, and it's like it doesn't like it never read to me as corny as like maybe visually it looked corny, like if you saw it out of context, like a performance or something like that. But on record, I don't know, it just blends together perfectly for me. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get high and let you talk about this album now.
So I mean, this album, it's kind of it's all over the place. It ranges from just like really bad to really good to some tracks that are just like so bad, but it's good how bad it is, so it's still enjoyable. So like on the whole, it's a very enjoyable album. I think you mentioned that it starts off really strong, and it does, but it's like just like this. Is good. Nookie is so bad it's good. Break Stuff is
no. Nookie is just genuinely good.
Break Stuff is good. Rearranged is good, and then it just kind of goes downhill a bit after that. It has some good songs towards the end. Like I really like 1999. I like Show Me What You Got. I like End Together Now. So I mean, on the whole, it's an enjoyable listen, and I think it has held up over time. But to me, it's just kind of it's all over the place.
When you say all over the place, what like in terms of quality? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean it ranges from bad to so bad it's good to like really good. Like it's not like I don't listen to it from front to back and go, well, this is fucking shit, or I don't listen and go, oh my god, it's so amazing. Like it just kind of hits everywhere for me.
Yeah, no, to me like it's all pretty great, with the exception of a couple of songs. Look up. There was one song some songs are pretty bland. So it's for me, like, it goes from really good to kind of bland to there's like one track that I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Trying to find what track that is. Where is it? Let's see here. Nobody Like You. That was a really good one. That one features Scott Weiland, rest in peace, and our good friend Jonathan Davis. That was a pretty good one. I think A Lesson Learned. That was one of the last tracks before the outro. That one was pretty bad.
Right, and the outro is bad.
The outro I don't really remember. I thought the rant with Matt Pinfield was really funny. Shut up, Matt Pinfield. What a great guy.
I did read that, according to Wikipedia, there was another hidden track that it seems like Spotify has not included.
Yeah, it's not on the digital version. That features vocals by Les Claypool of Primus fame, of all people. I don't know. Limp Bizkit and Primus do not seem like the kinds of bands that would get along. Yeah, No Sex I thought was pretty bad. Trust was kind of bland. But the rest of these songs are really solid. No Sex apparently features vocals from Aaron Lewis of Stained. Fuck that guy. Do you know about that guy now?
No.
He used to sing for the new metal band Stained, obviously, who have been relevant in like 15 years. But he embarked on a solo country career where he's like a big MAGA guy and a big "Let's Go Brandon" type conspiracy theorist peddling conservative. That guy. He went from being looking like a giant baby with an eyebrow piercing in the '90s, like late '90s, to a guy who looks like he spits on minorities. Which he told people not to speak Spanish at his concert. He yelled at the audience for speaking Spanish at a concert. So really great guy, that Aaron Lewis. But this was long before he went full MAGA. But I don't even remember him on the song, so kind of a forgettable track. Yeah, End Together Now. I think it's a perfect song. Alex, do you know who Method Man is?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, can you name three? I'm sorry, I hate to do this. I hate to be that guy, but I wanted to get this on the podcast. But can you name three members of the Wu-Tang Clan that aren't Method Man?
I mean, Old Dirty Bastard is in there, and Redman is part of the Wu-Tang, right?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay, then I just know the two. I know Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard.
Okay.
But I also couldn't care less about Wu-Tang. So.
Ooh, that's a bad opinion. You need some culture in your life, buddy. Yeah, no, 36 Chambers, the one top 5 rap album of all time. Yeah, so that's the track listing there. We kind of went through. Yeah, I don't know. I think this album's fantastic, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it nearly as much as I ended up like enjoying it. I guess revisiting it. Yeah, I don't know. I was transported instantly back to my little bedroom and my little tech decks, my little life as a angsty 4th grader going on to 5th grade. But yeah, yeah, I don't have a lot to say. I have just a fuck ton of videos for us to watch. I want to get through, I guess. Any other thoughts you have about this album other than it's kind of all over the place and you don't know the Wu-Tang as much as you thought you did?
I didn't think I know them at all because I could not care any less about them than I already do. I did have a few things not in reference to this album, but there were a couple things that I wanted to just bring up. It's in reference to Limp Bizkit, but it kind of ties into maybe a little bit of our new metal as a whole. So actually in the first episode, we had talked about Korn, obviously, and we talked about it's a song that I don't think you had remembered at the time. I don't know if you revisited it, but I kind of called out Fred Durst and Jonathan Davis for taking part in this song called All in the Family from Follow the Leader, which is just reeked of like homophobia and all that. And it was one of the things I pointed to is like why I think Korn is just like, if it's like, if you weren't there, I don't get why you like it. But I did want to just say to like kind of wrap that up that Jonathan Davis did say in, just 9/3/2022. Oh, right. Europe. So on March of this year, he said that song is the worst song ever. It's horrible. We were all drunk in the studio and I was trying to rap. At the time we were having a good time, but now I just cringe. So, I thought I'd bring that up because it was a song we had talked about in reference to Korn on the first episode, and it does feature at least Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I'm glad that he realized that he had made a mistake and owned up to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rare. I don't think Aaron Lewis of Stain would do that.
Do you think Fred Durst would? I did not research what Fred Durst has said about that song. This is just like an article I came across a couple days ago.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I wonder if there's anything on record on that. I don't know him well enough to say I would be surprised one way or the other. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up, I just found this actually like a month ago, and I knew I wanted to save it for the last episode. So John Cullen on Twitter as @CullenTheComic, and he is one of the hosts of Blocked Party. He also hosts the podcast.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that new metal podcast. Yeah,
he says. So on December 2nd of 2020, he says, "I love reading the Rolling Stone profiles of new metal bands for the podcast." Oh, it's the PODcast is probably what it is. I see. It's not. Yeah, it's not clear in his bio, but as he writes it out, it's clear. They're all the exact same. They profile how many drugs the band did, how bad their childhoods were, and emphasizes that new metal will definitely last forever. And then he quote tweets his own tweet and says, and it's also funny that we have so much discussion about industry plants in the more modern media era, and we tend to think of those plants as exclusively pop, but nearly every nu metal band other than Korn were connected to the industry. And then he goes on to list Orgy, their lead singer is his godfather is Sly Stone. Crazy Town, singer's dad managed Billy Joel. Linkin Park, assembled by a label. Puddle of Mud, entire band built around Wes Scantlin by Fred Durst, and then Limp Bizkit, Korn's tattoo artist. So his argument is like, oh yeah, I mean, we look at pop now, like, oh, look at all these industry plants, but he also points to nu metal as being basically a victim of it's that same fate.
Yeah, I wouldn't, using his examples there, I wouldn't classify Limp Bizkit as being an industry plant by that definition, simply because they did tattoos for an already famous band. I don't know. It doesn't really, they didn't really have industry ties. They just knew a more famous band at the time, I guess. But I guess that counts maybe, but they weren't like assembled by a label like Linkin Park was, though. So I guess there are different degrees. And industry plants are very confusing conversation to have, or because everyone thinks everyone's an industry plant these days. It seems like.
But I've never cared for the term or the conversation around. Like, firstly, I guess why does it matter? I guess would be the one thing I would like. Who cares?
It brings your authenticity into question.
I guess I've never liked a group and then found out they're an industry plant. Like, oh, well, I can't like them anymore. Sure, maybe I think they're less authentic, and certainly depending on the context, maybe that makes the music hit a little bit different. But I've never like discounted a band out of hand one way or the other because of that.
No, I would lose a tremendous amount of respect for an artist if I found out they had larger ties to the music industry and that their story was fabricated. Personally, I don't know if I would enjoy the music more or less, but yeah, I'd lose a lot of respect for them in that regard. I actually tweeted about this during argument season when I was just having a rough go of it, like about a month ago, where I was just tweeting anything that came through my head.
Yeah, I think
because I couldn't sleep.
It's fair. I think your point is fair, but I guess thinking about it from my perspective, I guess there aren't a lot of musicians I have respect for to begin with. There are a select few, and learning something about them may change that. A connection to the industry wouldn't be one for me. But yeah, I could see things that would change, like make me lose respect for artists. But again, there's so few that I would come at with a level of respect to start with, I guess.
Yeah, I don't hold a lot of respect for like people in like hardcore bands necessarily, just because the music is like notoriously made by violent people. Not all. I don't want to paint hardcore as like there are a lot of anti-violent bands, like Have Heart, for example, being one of the best bands in the whole genre, in my opinion, who are very anti-violent. But a lot of the bands I like are definitely made up of like just violent abusers and stuff that, I don't have respect for them to begin with, but their music just makes me feel a certain type of way. And if I did find out that they were the pieces of shit I thought they were, I would stop listening to them. Like most recently, the band Section Hate, their singer got outed as an abuser, and nothing's going to happen to them. They're not going to get canceled or anything because cancel culture doesn't exist. But that's a whole other argument and conversation, I suppose. But there were text messages released of the guy being just very emotionally abusive, and then hinted at being physically abusive. And I was like, well, fuck that band. I'm never going to listen to them ever again. Not that I had respect for them to begin with, but
and I think that's fair.
You run into that a lot in hardcore.
That makes a lot of sense. And I can get that, but so I guess my argument would be I wouldn't ever be like, well, fuck this band because they're an industry plant. I'm never going to listen to them again. And it sounds like you're not saying that either. But so it's like it's always degrees of what is how do we feel about this certain thing? And being an industry plant is not by any means it's not a
bad morally
thing, right?
It's not morally wrong, I guess. But like I said, I was like, I tweeted about that because one night I couldn't sleep, and I found out, like I mentioned this on the pod before.
Yeah.
I found out that band, the Lindas, like their dad or like one of their dads or whatever, works for the label that they ended up getting signed to shortly after they went viral. It's like, oh, I wonder how that happened. You know. So whatchamacallit, the Arcade Fire, their dad worked for Halliburton. Like, it's all fake, you know. It's like, you know, so like that. And I tweeted that, and I was like, this is why I only listen to Terror. But yeah, who are a hardcore band that doesn't have abusers in it, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to Terror. They made the best album of the year so far.
Okay.
Pain into Power. And on that note, should we get into the multitude of videos I have?
Sure. Yep. I have one, and then we will get to yours.
I was afraid that you would, but okay, let's see what you got.
Why were you afraid of that?
I mean, it's good that you only have one, but I was afraid that, like, because I have 18, so I was hoping you wouldn't have any, but because that would just take more time.
Okay, so since this episode is God willing coming out on July 4th, I found Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, but it's the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh wow, okay.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fun, everybody sucks. You don't want to go wrong, but you want to justify. Making so much hell, no human contact. And if you ain't too right, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit.
So there you go. I was trying to find something tying into America on July 4th, and this is what I got.
That's amazing that you had such a specific thing in mind, and you were able to find it just like that.
Well, it wasn't just like that. It took a little bit of digging. I finally had to use the term Star Spangled Banner instead of National Anthem, but we got there. I found it.
Well, God bless God bless Limp Bizkit, and God bless America.
Happy birthday, America.
I've never felt this patriotic before. Let's go, Brandon.
All right, so now moving on to your list, we are
Biden
starting.
Completely has the gas prices in charge. He completely sets the prices of gas. Obviously, it's obviously his fault. He did it. The sticker told me.
Okay, so your first video here is Limp Bizkit. Take a look around on the Tonight Show with Redacted on October 5th, 2010.
Yeah, so I wanted to. I wish you didn't tell me to put in them all in a playlist, because I really wanted you to go into these blind. But yeah, there was a Conan performance of I think Faye that I found, but since it's the season finale, I want to switch it up a bit. And we've never seen a Jay Leno performance this whole season, so Limp Bizkit changes everything.
My next guest, a Grammy-nominated rap metal band, obviously Laura Bush's favorite band. She follows these guys all across the country. Yeah, it's like one of those Deadhead tours. Wherever they are, she is there. They've sold over 50 million records worldwide. The band has come back together, and on July 3rd, they're kicking off their first national tour in 9 years at the PNC Bank Arts Center in New Jersey. Tonight, they're performing the song Take a Look Around. Please welcome Limp Bizkit.
Because they don't get it, but I'll stay fitted. They're ever committed. Now this red cap gets a rap from these critics. Do we always gotta cry? Do we always gotta live inside a lie? Life's just a blast, let's move it really fast. Better stay on top of life, I'll kick you in the ass. Follow me into a solo, remember that? So what you wanna do? And where you gonna run when you're staring down the cable of my mic?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it sounded good. I don't know if it's one of those things you were talking about with the mixing on late night, or maybe it was just this video was very quiet and kind of hard to hear. But
very quiet.
I think it was passable. Obviously,
I mean, it's kind of like that part of the song is quiet already. It's kind of like a little eerie, sort of. It's like kind of sneaky sounding,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird seeing, like, I don't know what it says about Limp Bizkit or Jay Leno, like who's worse off for appearing on whose show. But yeah, I don't know. I feel as if it's sadly a little telling that the only band that got to do Jay Leno was Limp Bizkit. I feel like that reflects poorly on someone there. They didn't appear on Conan, like I said, but yeah. I just wanted to subject you to Jay Leno as a part of a surprise here for our new metal season. I've broken these up into sections essentially. So what we're about to get into is the break stuff section. We got two very, very famous Limp Bizkit performances that I just want to get out of the way. And then we have one that was more recent, which we'll get to. So this first one, I believe, is the Lollapalooza performance.
This first one, I believe, is Woodstock
99. I
'99.
meant Woodstock 99, yeah. This is what allegedly started a riot.
Hey, man. Hey, let me ask you a personal question. How many people here really like NSYNC? Perfect. How many people here ever woke up one morning and just decided it wasn't one of those days and you're gonna break some shit? Well, this is one of them days, y'all, where everything's fucked up. You just wanna break some shit. You feel me? Let's feel it. It's just one of those days when you don't wanna wake up. Everything is fucked, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify. Ripping someone's head off, no human contact. And if you interact, you're like it's on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. I think you better quit, let shit slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. I think you better quit talking that shit. It's just one of those days.
Shot her around the world.
Yeah, and so many horrible things that happened during and before and after that set were just blamed on Fred Durst specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like they watching the horrible Woodstock documentary that you probably dodged a bullet by not watching this season. They try to blame, like they make it seem like the sexual assaults that happened during or after, before Limp Bizkit's set, they made it seem like it was Fred Durst's fault for some reason. They just really, really kind of try to hit home like the angry white guy persona, like somehow had an influence on all these fucking idiots in the crowd doing horrible things, like, I don't know. It's just like they're there to perform and, to like feed off the energy of the crowd, obviously, and vice versa. Later on in that video, he's not encouraging the crowd to like, people fall over, pick them back up. He's saying that kind of stuff, But yeah, I don't know. It's just a different time. We had different people to blame, I guess, for society's transgressions. Now it's a lot different, but in a lot of ways the same.
Oh yeah.
It's 2022, 20 years later, and they're still trying to blame shootings on video games and rap. Now it's rap music, not Fred Durst's fault all of a sudden. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got break stuff at Lollapalooza, and this was last year.
Yeah, this is a big performance for them because like
Mr. West Borland.
This is when people kind of thought Limp Bizkit was still kind of washed up, and it wasn't cool to like Limp Bizkit,
Right.
But then here they are, all of a sudden back with a new album and headlining Lollapalooza.
This is not Woodstock 99.
Even reference
Fuck all
Little
that
Squad.
bullshit. But what this is me and you having a party like it is 1999 in this motherfucker.
As a frontman, he really has been saying.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody
Which is really
sucks.
interesting,
Don't really know why, but you want to justify. Ripping someone's head off. No human contact. And if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just
stage. He says bullshit. Think you better quit, let shit slip, or you can leave it with a fat lip.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much an identical performance of this song.
Think you better quit, talking that shit. It's just
What's interesting about Fred Durst and what I've kind of just noticed now is that he seems to put the same amount of energy that he used to into his performance, which isn't a ton. You know, he's
No,
pretty kind
not
of
at all.
up there, pretty nonchalant. You know, just kind of like he's a really hard personality to describe. Honestly, I mean, you can cringe at it, you can feel however you want about it, but it's hard to pin down. He's a very weird guy in general, but that really sets him apart from a lot of frontmen we've seen over the season. Is that he kind of he puts the same amount of effort into his performances throughout his career, whereas we see early videos of like Korn or Slipknot, and especially System of a Down, where they used to have so much energy when they were first performing these songs, but then we'd watch the video from this decade, and especially with System of a Down, it seemed like they just didn't have it in them anymore, or they were just kind of clocking in for work, essentially. But with Fred Durst, he's always just had that same really kind of not awkward or off-putting, but just very peculiar vibe to him that you don't know where it's coming from.
Sure.
But it just hasn't. But yeah, like I said, those are almost identical performances, and this is one of them that was them at literally the height of their career, and then last year, and it's almost identical.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not many other frontmen like that.
Okay, so the last break stuff one is from last month in Green Bay.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to this concert with Juggalo Max, but then he found out that Young Gravy was a supporting act, and he was like, I don't want to go anymore. So, but I've seen videos of this performance floating around the internet and stuff, and it looked pretty cool because he brings up like a little kid to perform with him.
Yeah, I haven't watched this yet, but I see the screenshot, obviously, of him with the kid.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Reminds me of a video we watched where he was performing with Soulfly, and there was like some kid on stage with them.
Yeah.
Guys from UK and Young Gravy. Fucking amazing. Come on out, guys. Let's have a party up here. Let's say goodnight now, everybody.
Yeah, this whole tour they bring out all the opening acts, party on stage with this song. And
Young Gravy!
yeah, it always looks like a
I don't know what my internet just did. I couldn't hear what you were saying, though.
Oh, okay.
I like the SNL closing music.
Hey, you got that mic?
Yeah.
Tony?
The SNL closing music and like that, like where they just stand on stage and wave goodbye, always made me so sad.
Let's see if we can get to the song here. There we go.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is wrong, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify. Don't do me content. You want to rap, but I just want contract. The best man is to say, wait, motherfucker. Just one of those days.
Very cool. Awful audio on the video, but very, very cool.
Yeah. Like, what I was trying to say before, like, you couldn't hear me saying was, for this whole tour, they would bring out, for break stuff as their last song, they'd bring out all the opening acts to like party with them on stage and sing along and stuff. And I just seen a lot of like videos of that floating around on Twitter and stuff. And it's always looking like a fucking blast. But yeah. Wish I was there. I was in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay, so now what section are we jumping into?
This is the very extensive MTV section.
Okay.
So I don't know what's queued up first, but
first we've got Limp Bizkit, Counterfeit, and Nobody Loves Me live at Spring Break 1998.
Okay. I don't know if this is a part of Fashionably Loud or not, but if we'll find out.
Spring break, baby.
Yeah, this is Fashionably Loud. Did you ever watch this as a kid?
No.
It's just like a fashion show, but with bands playing during it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's, there's a lot of really weird combinations of women in bikinis walking the runway, as it were. So like new metal bands and like Kid Rock and Eminem early on in their careers. It's a very weird contrast, as you can see here. So this is one of their first albums.
Yeah.
Hey man, wake up and smell the concrete. Straight to see a change like the LP. Could be identity crisis. I can't buy this reality bites, but that's why life is meant for you. Your hideous behavior, if a God gave you, making all the flavor. Artificial mind, taking out the nutrients, getting where you fit it. Thinking like a has-been, thinking if I told you.
Yeah, definitely an interesting concept. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, Fashion Love. I'd never really watched it because I obviously wasn't into fashion as a, fat fifth grader. But yeah, I was aware of it. But yeah, this is just the golden age of MTV. So I feel if what I think is next, this was found when searching Fashionably Loud Limp Bizkit, and I just included this just as a little palate cleanser for you. This is this the All American Rejects?
You've included the worst All American Rejects song as a palate cleanser for me.
No, I mean I still had you in mind, so give me some
Thank
credit,
you.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got Fashionably Loud. This is All American Rejects playing Swing Swing.
I like this song. Not the best song on that album, but
yeah, I think they were a highly overrated band. They had some good songs, but by and large, I would not a
yeah, I shouldn't have assumed you liked them because it was hard to pinpoint what you do like and don't like. You're very picky, but as am I. But yeah, in my mind, this was going to be a palate cleanser for you.
What was the last? Let's see. So this was a show that they did for a while because this is 2003. The last one was 98. So I don't know how I missed this. Like I wouldn't have watched either, but like I just never even heard of it. So
yeah,
that's
it was
odd.
big during like those peak late 90s, early 2000s MTV TRL era years.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, back to Limp Bizkit, we've got Jump Around at MTV New Year's Eve 1999.
Featuring Everlast.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of covers. Limp Bizkit covering songs or people covering Limp Bizkit. So this is just the first taste of that. Drop him up just to it. I would be going insane if I was there. Like, I would be hitting motherfuckers like in the crowd. Like,
nice.
That, like when it gets really heavy, when it goes on that heavy part, I would just like lose my goddamn mind if I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's next from the MTV section?
So next we have Eminem and Fred Durst on TRL in the year 2000. This is only a minute and a half, so let's just watch this whole thing here.
Yeah, I really wanted to get a TRL interview in here. And this is all I could find that had them being interviewed by our friend Carson Daly.
Limp Bizkit, what's up, y'all? Nice to have you here. We're going to chat a little bit. In fact, you guys work together on something. But first, let's go out to Dave and Jesse and get into the number 7 video for today, guys.
Good. They keep it real, you know.
I'm serious. Real what?
I like 98 Degrees, too. I like them, too.
All right. I don't know if I believe you, but let's talk about
I
you
just
guys.
don't think he's got rhythm. That's all.
Yeah,
I think he's
right.
faking it.
All right. That's
But he's
cool.
probably a really
Cute.
Yeah. Thanks, Wes.
he's probably a
I'm
cool.
not getting a video.
Turn It Loose is a collaborative effort between Eminem and Fred. How did you guys hook up to do this track?
You want to answer that? You want me to? You. All right. We just got together, man. We're on the same label. You know what I'm saying? We're label mates. And I heard their stuff from their first album, and I liked it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't do anything that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I like their stuff, so it was like we got together, and we didn't know it was going to turn out as dope as it did. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But, you know, we got together, and we did it.
Fred? Same thing. You're a
the
fan
same
of M
thing.
and just like, yo, come in. Did you just bust a
Yeah, I was
a
at
rap in it, or-
Interscope actually, and Jimmy Iovine and Dre, and turned me onto his video and said to check this out and listen to it. And it was like off the hook before it even came out. And I said I'd like to do something with this guy, and through who and through I don't know, hooked it up. He was in the studio laying down some rhymes, and it kind of turned into like Turn It Loose.
Yeah.
And then he came
It's
back, and we hooked up a hook, and it's still being mixed right now. So that's pretty fat, though.
That is an extremely cringy video. Like watching both of them and hearing both of them talk. Like, I don't know, man. I can't remember the last time I cringed so hard at like Eminem. Like I'm a fan, as you know, which I know you're not. But like this interview was just like, oh, I didn't. This was grating.
Yeah, Eminem made me cringe for sure. That was a very interesting interview. I didn't even know they did a song together either.
Yeah, I was researching this the other day. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was recorded around the same time as Significant Other, but didn't make it on the album. I think like the only copies I could find are like bootlegs. It's not like on Spotify or any streaming service or anything. But I mean, obviously, I think famously, perhaps after this, they ended up having their beef, which rap beefs are stupid. Like I just think it's dumb.
No, they could be entertaining. Like the Drake Pusha T beef was pretty good because Pusha T went, I don't want to say over the line because I don't think that really exists when it comes to rap beef, but he literally exposed the whole world to Drake having that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
that was like really fucking cool, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm biased. Pusha T's probably my favorite rapper, but
nothing I've never been into. I think this was especially like the dumbest one because there wasn't really nothing really much came of it. And I was reading that in recent years, Fred Durst was just like, yeah, I haven't heard from him in forever. He got mad after what DJ Lethal said and the whole thing where we were going to record a song. It didn't happen. I don't really care. I'm still a huge fan of his, whatever. And I thinking the High Road, I think is great, but I think the whole thing is just dumb.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even know much about it. I didn't read up on it or anything, but definitely go on YouTube and listen to the story of Adidot by Pusha T, because that's like seriously the greatest like diss track of all time. It's up there. It's part of the conversation for sure.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
I mean, I think we both know I won't do that, but
probably not. No.
Okay, so next we've got Limp Bizkit backstage at Family Values Tour 1999.
Okay. Hopefully this is more interesting than the last interview.
Where is he? Backstage? That's bullshit.
Whatever, Fred. Anyway, this week it is nothing but rock as 1515 hooks up with Limp Bizkit, Filter, The Crystal Method, and Stained on Family Values 99. Also, the Lees, Tommy and Pamela, talk reconciliation and the joy of being naked. And the Foo Fighters regroup and get set to relaunch.
I know, I'm just trying to get to it.
Okay.
Welcome to 1515, an all-rock edition this weekend. What better place to bring it to you than Family Values 99, the biggest rock tour of the fall. We're here with this year's headliners, Fred, Limp Bizkit. What's up, man?
What's up, John?
Good to see you. What goes through your mind when you're about to go on stage like this?
Well, I don't really anticipate anything, to tell you the truth. I don't know what is going to happen the second those curtains open.
Right?
It's 110% unpredictable.
If you guys can see it, we're about to head out on the stage right now.
It's kind of like some crazy futuristic lab, like John Otto's in his. Let me show you. We got a stairway, which I'll start from up here. The stairway rises. I'll start from up here. We got these gears that are grinding. It's kind of like some crazy thing. DJ Lethal's right down in here in the lab. John Otto's over here doing his thing. What's up, John? You ready to rock? Hell yeah, what's up? Get a little checky check. Awesome. I mean, they're literally getting ready to open the curtain.
Is it about 15,000 people here?
Yeah, it's like some crazy amount of people.
That's pretty cool. Just seeing them like get ready for the show.
Yeah. I didn't watch all of that, but I saw like the 1515 like news logo and shit, and, like the preview of the episode. And just got really nostalgic for that show. I was a big fan of John Oliver's, or no, not John Oliver. Fuck John Oliver, but what is his name?
I don't know. I recognize the guy. I don't remember his name though.
He said it.
I know he said it. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was John Oliver.
Okay,
but I know that's a different person.
Yeah. So this is a classic moment, which I remember from my youth, which is Rage Against the Machine disrupting the VMAs in 2000. I think over.
Yes, this is closing out the MTV section. Yeah.
Yes, and I think I remember this moment. So Limp Bizkit's on stage accepting an award. And
the motherfucker from Rage Against the Machine is climbing.
He's climbing like the scaffold.
Yeah, a giant scaffold.
So we just want to thank everybody who's involved. Interscope Records.
Thanks to that guy right there.
This guy is rock and roll. He should be getting the award. Thank you anyway, and everybody out there and all our fans. Limp Bizkit's in the house. Eminem.
Hey, everybody's winners. Everybody's winners tonight. Ain't no sore losers.
And this guy's a he won't jump.
Thanks to everybody who's.
This is the VMAs in 2000.
Okay, so next we've got Hot Dog.
Yeah. Okay. This is the brief live in Europe. Section, I think.
Live at La Citadelle in France in 2011.
Yeah, and this one you gotta fast forward to like a minute in.
Okay.
Because these dirty European videos take a while to get into the song.
It's on me. Okay, right now, just for fun, just for spirit, let's get this whole place going like this, okay? Hit it, boy.
This is when Gold Cobra had come out. You know about the song Hot Dog?
Sorry, what did you say? This is when what?
Oh, I was going to say this is when Gold Cobra came out, but more importantly, you know about the song Hot Dog by Limp Bizkit?
I mean, I'm familiar with it.
Do you know its importance?
Do I know what?
Of its importance?
Probably not, because I wouldn't describe it as important.
He says fuck a lot. That's it.
Hold on, I'm going to pause it so I can have a conversation. He says what?
Oh, he just says fuck a lot in this song.
Okay.
That's why it's important. It's that one.
Oh, okay.
Everybody talks about a fucked up face, fucked up dreams, fucked up life, fucked up kid with a fucked up knife, fucked up mom, fucked up dad, fucked up pop with a fucked up badge, fucked up job, fucked up play, fucked up boss, she's a fucked up day, fucked up press, fucked up bars, Nichols in the back with the fucked up bars. Everybody knows it's on. Everybody knows it's on. Ain't it a shame that you can't say fuck's just a word and it's on.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that song before. That was again. They just seem like there's no we didn't look at any performance of this from earlier, but it's aside from the fact that he's obviously aging, as we all do. It's hard to be like, oh yeah, this is obviously from 2011 and not 2003 or whatever.
Yeah, by that time though, in their career, they were primarily touring Europe because they were far less hated in Europe than they are in America, or they were a laughing stock at that point in their career in America for the most part. But this next one starts about 2 minutes in.
Okay, and this is a cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" in the Netherlands in 2015.
2015 don't know what was going on at that point. I think they were signed to Cash Money, that's Lil Wayne's label, but they never put out any material for the record label.
Okay.
It was just random as fuck when that happened. I was like, oh, you'll be signed to the big top label.
Yeah.
Literally, internally. All you people outside of the tent, can you hear me?
Well, this obviously it smells like Teen Spirit.
Sorry, what?
That wasn't smell like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, I didn't think so either, but I was just not sure if they were just getting to it. Like, normally we don't let the videos run up, but I wanted to see if it actually ever got to Smells Like Teen Spirit because I was not sure what was going on.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Was it?
Yeah, that intro, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let's just go ahead a little bit and see.
Oh, yeah, okay, they're just getting into it.
Here we go.
Oh, it's Wes Borland singing.
I was gonna say, like, I was interested to see what it was gonna be like with Fred Durst singing because he can't sing.
Yeah,
but yeah. No, that's
looking like Waluigi. It's got the Waluigi mustache there.
Yeah.
I don't know if this next one's in Europe or not. I forget.
No, it is in West Hollywood. They're covering "Wanted Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
2019.
This is going to transition us into the cover section. We're in the home stretch. They just bust out the most random covers I've found. But this one was just too good to not include.
Are you a Bon Jovi fan?
Fuck no. Absolutely not. Oh God, no. Are you?
So what intrigues you about this then?
Because I don't know. It's not something you would expect. You know, it's very out of pocket. Because they'll cover any song. It seems like with no rhyme or reason to it.
Seriously though, sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not the day. The people like me always know themselves away. Sometimes you tell the day about a bottle that you drink. Nights when you run alone, all you do is think, I'm a cowboy, I'm a steel horse I ride.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best songs of the 80s, which is not hard to clear. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with it. I like that.
Yeah, no, they did a fine job covering a terrible song, but we haven't discussed what's the best song of the 80s. We've done the 90s, we've done the 2000s.
Not worth talking about. The 80s is just basically shit.
I'm going to say Take On Me by Aha might be the best song of the 80s. That's not true, but I mean, that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a strong contender, but
some of my Prince probably. I'd have to think about it though.
God no. So we got Okay, so this is a cover by a band called Crystal Lake, I think. A cover of Rollin'. Am I reading this?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
All right, partner.
And this is from 2015.
Baby. You know what time it is.
Bizkit is right. Yeah, that's terrible.
You were singing. Yeah, that was not good. It's been a long time since I've heard that song. I don't remember that song being that aggressive. Is that right?
No, it isn't that aggressive. Actually, no. It's the thing about the first three Limp Bizkit records is like they kind of have that classic 3-album run where their debut is just the raw, scrappy debut that everyone loves because of how rough around the edges it is, and then they kind of perfect their sound make it a little slicker with the second record. And by their third record, it's a lot like Slipknot. That's the band I was trying to connect it to. And then their third record is kind of them peak mainstream success, and it's very glossy and slick production, and less. More diverse but less interesting, I guess.
Gotcha.
A lot more, yeah. So, and what bothers me about this cover is that they don't. There's two versions of Roland on the album. There's the Urban Assault vehicle and the Air Raid vehicle. And the Air Raid vehicle, I sound like such a fucking nerd right now, by the way. This is so cringe, but
okay.
But the Air Raid vehicle is the one that everyone knows, and the Urban Assault vehicle is the one that features Method Man, Redman, and the late DMX. That's at the end of the album. It's like it's a posse cut, as it's referred to in hip hop, where there's multiple people on the track doing a verse. What's that?
I'm not familiar with that concept.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the posse cut. Yeah, that's an unfamiliar concept. I'm glad I explained it to you.
Yeah.
So you know.
Genius, if you ask me.
I see what you did there.
That's good.
Yeah, they didn't clarify what version it was. Is what I'm saying. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next, it says Limp Bizkit Hot Dog band cover. But I'm guessing it's not Limp Bizkit. I'm guessing it's a cover of Limp Bizkit.
No, this is a cover. Limp Bizkit is in the cover section, which we'll get to.
Okay, so I'm looking for a band name here. If this will load. I mean, it's uploaded by someone named Dmitry Yarmola. Again in 2015. We've had a couple videos from that year. Here we go.
Listen up, here we go. It's the fucked up world, fucked up place. Everybody just put the fuck up face. Fuck up dream, fuck up life. Fucked up kid with the fucked up night. Fucked up mom, fucked up dad. Fucked up cop with the fucked up badge. Fucked up job, fucked up pay. Fucked up boss with the fuck up day. Fucked up breath, fucked up life.
I do not like his voice, but the music.
No, I can't tell if he's trying to mimic Fred Durst or not. It felt like he was at some points, but yeah, it's not an appealing voice. But otherwise, it's fairly faithful to the original.
Yeah.
But they didn't really do anything unique with it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say the other band did by adding like a metalcore sound, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I want out of a cover, I guess.
Right.
I can't remember what's next.
Next, we've got Sky Eats Airplane.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Nookie.
I didn't know this existed until yesterday, but this is a band from my youth that a lot of my friends are into, that were really big around here, but I never really got into them. But still very nostalgic for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I be feeling bad? Should I be feeling good? It's kinda sad. I'm the laughing stock of the neighborhood. And you would think that I'd be moving on. But I'm a sucker like I said. Fucked up in the head, not. And maybe she just made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straight ahead cover. Like, it was good. It was good. Better than a couple of the other ones we've heard. But, again, nothing's really setting it apart.
Yeah, it was straightforward. I was kind of hoping they'd do more with it because that band was they were kind of an aggressive post-hardcore band with like a lot of cool electronic elements going on that not a lot of other bands were doing.
Yeah, I could hear a little bit of electronics, but it was definitely. I mean, I don't know what they normally sound like, but I'm guessing it was very dialed down. It was very subtle. So, yeah, it would have been interesting to hear them do more with that.
Yeah, no, their sound is more aggressive post-hardcore with a lot more prominent electronics that were kind of interesting, but still not my cup of tea back then or now. But
gotcha.
Yeah, that was a cool find though, and that leads us to I think the last video for the cover section. I think.
Yes, and it's Limp Bizkit performing "Wish You Were Here,"
covering "Wish You Were Here" with the singer of mom rock classics, the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, is that? I thought I recognized the name.
Yeah, I couldn't pass this up, so I had to throw in the cover section.
Is "Wish You Were Here" a Goo Goo Dolls song?
No, it's by Pink Floyd.
Oh, never listened to Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. Oh, and this was recorded briefly, or not briefly, but briefly after 9/11 happened.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell?
Oh, this is the concert for Europe, I guess?
And something like that.
Yeah, I remember this event. I mean, I don't remember this specific performance.
I don't know.
Interesting collaborations from this event.
Yeah. Smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell?
What a weird team up.
Yeah, there were lots of interesting collaborations in this event. Like we kind of talked about in the System of a Down episode, it's a hopefully once in a lifetime type event that really brings a lot of interesting parties together.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't be ashamed. Do you think we can change?
Oh, look, the string section there. That's good.
Oh, I didn't watch this far into it. It's interesting.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was atrocious, actually. This is like the first time in this episode where Limp Bizkit has kind of made me cringe a little bit. But different strokes for different folks.
Okay, last thing we got here is Limp Bizkit kills a boat.
So this could have been in the MTV section, but I wanted to close out the whole episode with this phenomenal video.
Okay, and this looks like it's from TRL from... I didn't say what year, but here we go.
Y'all ready to blow this boat up? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Fred Durst just blew up a boat on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a culturally iconic moment that just really sums up nu metal season for me on a personal level.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt like a very fitting end. But yeah. So I guess any closing remarks here for season 4, nu metal season, which I'm honestly a little more sad than I thought I would be as far as saying goodbye to season 4 goes. I'm gonna miss doing this for a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I've said everything I have to say. I mean, it's definitely a very eclectic set of videos. It was entertaining. I learned a lot about Limp Bizkit, though it hasn't changed the way I feel about them. I mean, overall, I'm probably more likely to listen to nu metal now than I was before, but it's still just not something that's it's not my taste, which is fine. I've learned a lot.
Are there any albums you're going to go back to, you think?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Like what? What are you most likely to listen to again, do you think?
Most likely to listen to again? I mean, obviously, Hybrid Theory, Make Yourself. Yeah. I really like the Soulfly one.
Okay.
I mean, again, Toxicity. I mean, Soulfly is the only one of those 3 that I just mentioned that I discovered this time around. The other 3 I know I would have made my way back to at some point. As far as other ones I've kind of discovered that I'll probably revisit, I think Wisconsin Death Trip was really good. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing So what I would say is the only thing that there were two things that I really hated, which was Korn and Seven Dust. Other than that, I could see value or the potential that I would go back and listen to other albums that we visited.
Mm-hmm. Any bands you're going to further explore their catalog, do you think? Like,
I don't know.
Deftones or Static X?
I was under the impression that one Static X album was the only one. I have no interest in hearing them after they replace their singer, so probably not them.
Definitely check out Start a War or Cannibal next, if you could go, if you so choose to continue with Static X. All their albums have the same singer. They haven't made an album without the lead dude, I don't think.
Oh, I thought it was just the one album and then he died.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay, interesting then.
Yeah, no, they had a whole career with him. Snot was the album where they made one album and the singer died.
Okay, I thought we had a few like that. Interesting.
No, it's just not. But yeah. Well, I guess that's it then. I have one last thing I want to say before the episode ends.
Okay.
It's Alex. I think I have diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Shoots out your bum like a bullet from a gun. Diarrhea. It rolls down your leg like a little ducky egg. Diarrhea. It's soft Winnie Pooh and it's got you in your shoe. Diarrhea. You go as red as your ruddy and your hurry to vanish. Diarrhea. It's really Winnie Pooh when it splashes in the loo. Diarrhea. We've done our poo when we're finished on the loo. Diarrhea.